Today I've got this template which is already mixed and finished. And I'm going to mess it up and then I'm going to show you how to mix it from scratch. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get rid of everything we got on the master first of all. And then we're going to go ahead and even out the volumes of everything. So now it's completely unmixed. We're clipping. Let's go ahead and fix this from scratch. So the way that you do this is you first are going to start with your kick and bass. Right, so we can actually turn these up a little. Alright, so those are sounding good together. And while we're at it, we can get this bass that's in the break. Alright, so all the basses are good. From there, we can go ahead and get the drums matching with it. So like in this case, I think they just need to come down a little bit. You can see there's not a lot of crazy processing going on. You know, I'm not really compressing anything. I'm not really messing with anything too much that way. I'm really just leveling everything out. Like what you heard at the intro, you could try to do all this stuff to make that work, or you could just get the levels right. Ride can come down a little bit. Also, I think the ride, we can spread it a little in the stereo field. So we'll take the echo and make it like really fast, turn off the filter, and then ping pong. And then we kind of get the ride like in the left and right ear a little bit. We can also get our percussion right. Make sure there's nothing in this group which is like too loud. Yeah, like that rave loop could come down a tiny bit and be more balanced. And this can come down a little bit too. Cool, so we got that percussion good, and then, yeah, we'll check it against the drums again. Cool, so from here, now we have our foundation of the track down. Now we can start getting these synths, right? So this is also like, it helps to have your project file organized like this, right? I've got like all the low end at the top. I've got the drums in the middle. I've got the synths under that. So we can kind of just work our way down really easily, right? But yeah, we can start here with this first main lead. And we could cut out a little bit, make sure we're cutting out like the lows on this. Make sure it's side chained enough. Like I honestly think we could bring the bass up a little bit. And then side chain like these leads a bit more. You know, make sure that the stereo field isn't weird with the chorus or anything like that. Make sure we're cutting the lows on this one as well so you don't get anything, you know, kind of clashing against your bass. Let's go ahead and yeah, see this can come down a tiny bit. Let's check this pad. Yeah, see the pad's the worst one. What we gotta do is we're gonna need to sidechain that heavier. And just bring it down. Also probably get rid of a little bit more low end. This is all the mixing is it's just getting things balanced. Let's check this last little lead here. I think this is where maybe we could do a little bit of EQ, just boosting. Right, and let's get a sidechain onto this as well. Just kind of copy that on there. Yeah, there we go. So, you know, I wouldn't usually advocate for boosting with EQs, to be honest. I think it's better to kind of do subtractive EQ rather than trying to add, you know. But when you're at the end of the mix like this, you can do a little bit like that. It just makes it fit a bit better. But see, there's not that much mixing required as far as like, you know, trying to fix the EQ and all this stuff with these, because they really all fit into different places. You know, you're not having to go and do all this crazy multiband stuff when everything just fits already based on what sound it is. So then we got our vocals. So what we do now is, let's go ahead and just mute these effects down here. And we'll check where the vocals are at. And we're going to check throughout the track. I think that's important. It's like... See, that's like a little bit too loud there. And I think we could cut some lows out of it. Cool. And then we'll check like... in the break here. Cool. So yeah, it works in both places. Let's check this one. We can push a little more highs on that. Alright, sounding really good. So now the last thing to do here is just check the effects. We got this little snare. Is that anything that can come down a little? Because if you make these effects too loud, like your transitions, like the snares and crashes and stuff, it messes up your master, and then it's also going to mess up the headroom on the track. Cool. So now we got everything mixed. I'm going to bring this pad down a little more still, though. The last thing to do here is, as you can see, we are clipping a little bit, which is fine, because all we got to do is just take one of these tracks. We're going to hit Command A or Control A on Windows, and then we're just going to drag all of the volumes down. And we're going to check this, and we're going to do it until this says -3. Alright, there we go. We're ready for mastering. So, mastering really, honestly, only really needs 2 steps. A little bit of EQ. We're just going to cut below 20 hertz and then above 20 kilohertz. So, basically, like, the human ear can only hear below or between these ranges, like between 20 hertz and 20 kilohertz. So, you just cut everything above and below because it'll still kind of, you know, get through. And then if you cut it, you have a little bit more headroom for your limiter. So then just the limiter, right? We're just gonna give it a bit of a boost. And see, if you mix it right, you shouldn't have too many problems with clipping or crunch or anything like that, right? And you can also, there's nothing wrong with going back and mixing a little different at this stage. Like, now that I've got everything up, I'm kind of wanting to bring the main drums down. This is why I really prefer to do it in the project file, honestly. Now, like I said, this is really all you need for mastering. You can go a little further, though. There's a few little tricks. And what I like to do is I like to sometimes put a little saturator in between there, right? And what you can do is you can play with the different settings on here. Like if you go, if you go on analog clip, it's basically just the same thing. But if you start bringing these up, see, it doesn't sound great. You probably want to turn the soft clip on. But then what you do is you can blend that and put it at maybe like between 1 and 10%. And see, you go from this to this. So you're basically just going to play with the dry wet and the drive, and then you can dial it in to where it's not going to over crunch your track, but you can definitely hear the fatness. And yeah, so that's going to be it for this one. That is how you mix an entire track from scratch and master it. It's really not that hard. It's really just about levels and then just using subtractive EQ mostly to get things out of the way of each other. That's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoy it. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. You can get this template and all my other templates at the top of the description on my website and on my new subscription, ES Pro, so that you can get these consistently every single month in your inbox. Thanks for the support, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.